Hello and welcome to this video brought to you by the West Haven Public Library. In this video, we are going to learn about finding and applying for jobs on Indeed. If you are unfamiliar with Indeed, it is a free website that allows you to search for and apply for jobs using filters such as your location, expected salary, and the type of job that you are looking for. In addition to it being free, it is possible to use this site without an Indeed account. However, it is highly recommended that you create an account anyway, because Indeed has so many useful features that you can only access with an account, such as speedy applications and the option to either upload your resume to the site or create your resume from scratch and save it on Indeed. So if you are interested in creating an account with Indeed, all you have to do is go to the top right of this page and click on Sign In. Click on that. And then once you get to this page, you just have to scroll down a little bit. This is the sign-in area, so once you have an account, you can go here, but for the very first time, you need to go down to Not a Member, Create an Account Free. Find that and just click on it. And now here we have to create the account. So you have a few options. You can click on Sign In with Google. This will use your Gmail account to create an Indeed account for you. You can click on Sign In with Facebook, and that will use your Facebook login information to create an Indeed account for you. Or you could do it the old-fashioned way, where you simply type in your email address and then type in a unique password. Once you've done that, you just want to click on this square here next to I'm Not a Robot. And once you finish with that, just click on this blue Create Account button right here. So let's begin with how to search for a job. There are two boxes here, and keep in mind that in order to search for a job on Indeed, you only have to fill out one of them. You can do both, of course, but if you don't know what you want to put in one of the boxes, that's okay. Just fill in one of them and we'll go from there. So this first box here says what, and it asks for a job title, a keyword, or a company. So if I have a specific job in mind, whether I know the company that I want to work for or I know the name of the job title that I would like to work in, I can type that in here. Basically anything about the job or where you want to work, that is what's going to go in this box here. This second box over here, where, asks for a city, state, or zip code, and keep in mind that you want to put in the city, state, or zip code that you want to work in. And this is useful for if you are just looking for any job that you can find, leave the what blank and type in the city or state or zip code that you can get to or that you want to work in. Likewise, if you have a job in mind but you don't care where it takes you, type in the job right here, leave location blank, and go ahead and search for that. So let's do a practice search. I'm going to use both boxes for this example. So say that I want to work as a cashier in the West Haven area. What I'm going to do is in the what, I'm going to type in cashier because that pertains to the job. And see how these suggestions here come up. You can take note of these or you can completely ignore them. Sometimes they're helpful, like cashier, customer service, that kind of. A cashier is customer service regardless, but sometimes that makes it you get different jobs that come up when you add in customer service. So if you're not finding anything with cashier, use customer service instead. It's good for finding synonyms for jobs that you're looking at, or maybe if you've gotten the job title wrong, it may suggest the right job title. So it is helpful to look at, but you don't have to use it. Next, I'm going to click on the where box, and I'm going to type in West Haven because I want to work in West Haven if possible. And as I type it, again, it pops up some suggestions. And I would suggest actually clicking on the suggested area as long as what you're typing in comes up. Just because if I were to type in West Haven CT without the comma, without the capitalization, it should come up regardless, but there's always a chance, depending on the search engine that you're using, that it won't come up because you didn't punctuate properly. So I always find it best just to actually click on what Indeed offers you in regards to location, just to be absolutely sure that you're seeing all the jobs that are available to you. Now that I have my boxes filled out, I'm going to go to this blue Find Jobs button right here, and I'm going to click on it. Alright, Right here we can see page 1 of 113 jobs, so we have a lot of jobs to look through here. So we have two options here. The first is that we can just simply scroll through all of these job openings and keep an eye out for what we're looking for. The easier option would be to make use of Indeed's filters to narrow this 113 jobs down to something a little bit more manageable. Up here at the top, we can see the search that we made, the what and the where. Right below it, these are the filters that we can make use of. So for example, date posted here. If we click on date posted, we can narrow this list down to only jobs that were posted either in the last 24 hours, the last 3 days, the last 7 days, last 14 days. The second one, remote, this one refers to whether or not a position is remote or temporarily remote due to COVID-19. This filter may disappear in the future, so don't worry if you don't see it, but as of right now, this is something that you can make use of. This next one further specifies your location. Notice in the first two openings we see they're in Orange, Connecticut. If we go down, New Haven, Orange. None of these are West Haven, even though we typed in West Haven. That is because Indeed defaults to a radius around the location you type in. We can change this to a bigger or a smaller radius, or we can even do exact location only so that we only see West Haven jobs. The salary filter can be used to only show you jobs that pay the wage you have specified. Job type refers to full-time, part-time, temporary, and there may be seasonal on here as well when it comes to the holiday season. So this is a good filter that you should use in pretty much every search because it would just be a waste of time if you filled out 3 applications for temporary jobs, but really you're looking for full-time work. So this is a really useful filter that I would suggest using in pretty much every search you do. Location shows you just more cities in the surrounding area. This is good for if you see a city that, oh, I'd be willing to go there, I just couldn't think of the name, or wow, this city has a lot of jobs here, I might want to expand my search to this city. So that's just good for helping you make extra decisions. And then of course if you were to click on North Haven, Connecticut here, you would see only the North Haven, Connecticut jobs. Company is a helpful filter. Instead of looking through all 113 job postings, you can kind of see it condensed right here. 22 are from this company, 10 are from this company, 9 are from this company, and so on. So rather than scrolling through 113 jobs, you can scroll through this short list and go, okay, I would never want to work at Target, but I would definitely want to work at Lowe's. Something of that sort. That way you're not scrolling through 100 and something jobs, you can narrow it down to 20 or even 3. And finally, experience level. This is a helpful filter as well. I would suggest using this in your searches. This is so that you are not wasting your time scrolling through and possibly accidentally applying for entry-level jobs when you have 20 years of experience already, and vice versa, so that you're not filling out these applications for these high-level jobs that you don't meet the qualifications for. Maybe you're just out of high school, or this is your first job. You don't want to waste your time applying for jobs that you have no chance of getting or that are severely underneath your skill set. So for this example, I'm going to limit the location to West Haven only. So I'm going to click on the location filter and click on exact location only. As soon as I click on it, it's going to apply that filter. And now we see the number has gone up. Why? Because there are no jobs found in West Haven, Connecticut. So it automatically moved it from 15 to 25 miles from me, which is now too far. So I'm going to change this instead to, I'll set it to 5 miles. See if we get anything. Alright, and now we got 25 jobs here. That's an improvement. So now let's look at the job postings themselves. Each of these squares are a job opening, and they are all going to look pretty much the same. except for the text, of course. Take this first one, for instance. The bolded text, that is the job title. The next couple of lines are the company name and location, so we see here that's the Burlington store, and it's the one in orange. And then below this is some text describing the job. So if you click on this text here, it will open up in full over on the right side of the screen. So this listing will provide an overview and a description of the job, as well as the qualifications you must meet and any responsibilities that you will have if you are hired. If you have an account, you can also at this point click on this heart icon here. This will save the job to a list of saved jobs that Indeed remembers for you. This is useful for, if you don't feel like applying for it today, but you are interested and you want to come back another time without having to redo your search entirely. You could also use this if maybe you're just not sure yet and you want to do some research on the company before you apply for it. Whatever your reason is, it's just so you can find it more easily later on. So once you've read through this job listing here and you've decided if you're interested in applying, you're going to look at the top of the listing for this blue button here that says Apply on Company Site. In this case and in many others, they're going to say Apply on Company Site, and when you click on it, we are going to leave Indeed and go to the company's website to apply there. This is where it may get a little bit tricky for you because each company's website is a little bit different and not all of them are super well organized. But just remember to take your time and read everything on the screen. And I'll show you what this looks like for this example so that you can kind of have an idea of what you're looking for. So if we were to click on Apply on Company Site, it's going to take us to the job posting as listed on Burlington's website. Again, our overview and description is here, the responsibilities, qualifications, it's all here. You want to find a button that says Apply or Apply Now. There is one right up here in the corner, and there's also one right down at the bottom, and I've seen this in a lot of job applications. They'll have it twice, one below the job, one up at the top next to the job title. So just kind of scroll through the page and look for Apply Now. Right, so once you click on Apply Now, it brings you to yet another page. It's going to ask you to create an account. An important thing to keep in mind with applying for jobs online is every company that you apply with is going to require you to make an account. So enter your email here. It's not asking for your Indeed account. You are creating an account for Burlington Jobs. If you were to apply to ShopRite later, you need to create an account with ShopRite. So keep that in mind. A really good way to do this is write down in a little notebook the company that you're applying for, the email you used to create your account, and the password that you created to go with this account. A month or two down the road, when you need to check your application status, it's going to save you so much time and frustration if you just know what you applied for and what email and password that you used for that specific job posting. Okay, so back to Indeed now. I want to show you an example of applying through Indeed. Most jobs you see here will have you apply on the company's site. If we click on this next one, Apply on Company's Site. Now this one says Apply Now instead of Apply on Company's Site. And that's not a mistake on the website's part. It's not that whoever put this up here titled the button differently. This literally means apply right now and get it done in less than half of the time a regular application would take. So see, if I were to click on Apply Now, this is my application. If you filled out online applications before, you know that they are 10 times as long as this. And the really cool thing is you still don't even need an Indeed account to do this. All that I need to do here is fill in these 3 boxes. I have to fill in my name, I have to fill in an email. Notice this little asterisk star here? That means you have to fill this field in. And that's okay, that's what, 2-3 fields? You have to fill in your name, you have to fill in your email. Your phone number is optional, but if you never check your email, you might want to put your phone number in, because if they contact you at your email but you never check it, you're not going to know if you got the job or not. So having your phone number on there is another way for them to contact you. Resume, I would click on here to choose a file. And then, of course, I would choose my resume from wherever I have it saved on my computer. And then once I click continue, depending on the job I'm applying for, it's going to ask me 1 or 2 more questions. This can range from how many years experience do you have in, this one's food service, customer service. So they may say, how many years experience do you have in customer service? Have you ever worked in a restaurant before? If you're applying for a job that involves you using machinery, they may ask you, do you hold any type of license that applies to this? Or they may ask you, do you hold this specific license? And they'll ask you 1 or 2 questions like that. They may not ask you any questions at all. Either way, you're done with this in about 5 minutes. Now, if you have an account and you are signed in, this is what you will see. Not that page I just showed you. If you have an account and you're signed in, you will see this. It's going to say, choose a resume to apply with. If you've created your resume, it'll be right here. And because I already did, I can just click on continue. Or I can upload a new resume, and same as before, you go through your files in your computer, find where your resume is, and click it to upload it. Okay, so the last thing that I want to go over is the My Jobs area of Indeed. We mentioned this earlier when we touched upon the heart icon. So if you go to the top of the page, in the top right about, if you click on this little person-shaped icon, you will get a drop-down menu. And you want to go down to where it says My Jobs. If you click on that, you will be taken to this page. I've only got 1 job saved in here for now, but any job that you intend to apply for or that you have applied for, you should click the heart icon. This is really helpful because it allows you to organize your job search, especially if you are filing for unemployment and they are continuously asking you to hand in proof that you are actively searching for jobs. You can use this page because it shows that you are looking at jobs. If you have saved jobs to the applied area, it shows how many jobs you've applied to, the day that you applied to them. So you can show your progress and prove your progress. So this first area here is the saved area. Simply when you click on the heart, it gets saved to this area. On the left here, you can see a couple of other areas. Really, the important ones are saved, applied, visited, and archived. The rest of these are kind of more for your own personal organization. So anything that you apply to through Indeed using that Apply Now button, those will appear in Applied. If you apply for a job through a company website, it will not go here. Indeed does not know that once you click on Apply on Company Site, Indeed doesn't know if you actually followed through. So you have to tell Indeed, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. So how to do this? You're going to save that job that you were applying for. You're going to click that heart. It'll get saved to the saved area. And when you click on this little down arrow next to the job, you can click on Move to Applied. And now it's in here. Move to Applied 1 second ago. So now a week down the road, when you're filling out your paperwork on what did I apply for this week, this will tell you, okay, this was May 28th. And that's going to help you out a lot. Another cool feature is, if I move this back, so after you've saved it, you come back maybe a week later, you're ready to apply. If you click on Apply Now, it's going to, again, take you to where to apply. And notice at the bottom, like we said before, Apply is all the way down at the bottom. I don't think it's at the top on this one, but that's okay, as long as it's somewhere. If we go back to Indeed, now this has changed. It asks us, did you apply? You can click on yes, that will move it to Applied for you. If you click on maybe later, it's going to stay here in the saved area. And if you click on not interested, it's going to move it to archived. You go down to archived, and now it's here still. And as long as the job posting is still live, you can unarchive it and apply for it. Or you can delete it. Or you can just use it as evidence that, hey, I was looking for jobs. Finally, the visited section. This shows all the jobs that you have looked at. And again, they show you when you looked at them. Again, you can use it as proof, or say you were just scrolling through and you saw something that was cool and you clicked on it but you forgot to heart it. It's going to be in here, so you can still find it somehow. Keep in mind that you do need an Indeed account to access this area. So while you don't need an account to apply for any and all jobs on this website, you do need an account to use this area. And that is pretty much it for searching for jobs on Indeed. I hope this video was helpful, and good luck to everybody searching for jobs right now. If you have any questions for job-related videos, resume-related videos, please contact us at the library, leave a comment down below. We would be so happy to hear them and to do our very best to create videos that really apply to you, especially when it comes to jobs, because that's just so important. Thank you so much for watching.